classes, you can ask me. Otherwise, I am sharing the screen and we will start with today's class. Okay, friends, it seems like there is no doubt. So I think we can start now. So before we start, let me check with someone quickly. Ishwar, can you please confirm if you can hear me properly and if you can see the screen?
Yes, Nitish.
Okay, that's good. Sorry. So friends, let's start the class with the agenda. The agenda is download sqoop file, extract the content of sqoop file, configure Sqoop, install MySQL on your system, create table in MySQL, insert sample data into MySQL table, import data from RDBMS to HDFS, export data from HDFS to RDBMS, import data from RDBMS to HDBase, similarly exporting data from HBase to RDBMS, import data from RDBMS to Hive and export data from Hive to RDBMS. So this is the agenda and we'll start with the first one. Download the tar.gz file. So for that we need to visit the Apache website. The link is given here, the Apache website link. You can click on that. Depending upon your geographical location, they will be suggesting some mirror site for you. And you can click on that. Then if you find any stable release, because when I downloaded, I did not find any stable version. I found this 1.4.1 incubating or 1.4.2 or 1.4.3 you can download. Inside this, once you will click on this folder, you will find many versions. Sqoop 1.4.1 incubating Hadoop 1.0.0 tar.gz. I have tested this version. This is perfectly compatible with Hadoop 1.x.x. So you can download that. It's quite a small software. You can check the size 3.9 MB, hardly 4 MB. You can download the software. You know how to do that. You will click on the link. You will click on the save file and you will be clicking on OK. After that, extracting the content of tar file, just like we have done it earlier for previous technology, you can extract the content of Sqoop tar file. Apart from that, we need to download one more thing, that is MySQL connector jar. Whatever RDBMS you will use, suppose you are planning to import from MySQL, so you would need MySQL connector jar. In case you are importing from Oracle, you would need Oracle connector jar, or maybe anything else. So as of now, for our learning purpose, we will be installing MySQL, and that's why we would need MySQL connector jar. All these connector jars from MySQL, Oracle, Teradata, and Sybase, all these connector jars are easily available over internet. You can go to Google, search for connector jar and download it. You can do it. Otherwise, for our training purpose, I will provide this jar over the email itself. You can simply download the jar from email and put into the lib directory of Sqoop. Lib directory only contains many jars. Along with that, you can put your own jar. That's all. Now this is downloading part. What about the configuration changes? Because usually we download Hadoop or HBase or Hive, we make the required changes in the configuration files, right? But Sqoop is a technology in which there is no change required in any of the configuration file. But we need to make some changes in the system configuration. The point is very important to understand, because in other technology we make the required change in the configuration file, which are usually located inside the conf directory of that technology. In Sqoop, we will modify a system file. You will be opening a terminal, and from bin directory, so not bin directory, from your home directory, you will type this command: vi space dot bash underscore profile. This is a system file, and inside this file we will provide just the names of three, uh, installation directory of three technology. Export Hadoop underscore home is equal to Hadoop installation directory. Export hbase underscore home is equal to hbase installation directory, and hive underscore home is equal to hive installation directory. That's all. Because when you are importing data from RDBMS to Hadoop, or RDBMS to HBase, or RDBMS to Hive, at least your Sqoop should know where exactly Hadoop, HBase, and Hive are installed. That's the only information Sqoop needs, nothing more than that. So these three lines you will be adding to dot bash underscore profile, and with this we are done with Sqoop installation. That's all. So any doubt in Sqoop installation part, you can ask me. Otherwise, we'll be moving ahead with installation of MySQL. Okay, so it seems like we can move to the next slide. Install MySQL on your machine. For doing practical, any one of the RDBs can be installed. Oracle, Teradata, Sybase. But since MySQL is an open source and we can install it free of cost, so that's why we can go with that. And installation of MySQL is quite simple. Just like initially in the first page, we installed SSH and we installed Java with the help of commands. Similarly, with the help of commands, you can install even MySQL. Very simple command: sudo apt-get install mysql-server. That's all. This command is capable of downloading the required stuff from internet and finally installing it on your system. And while installing, two windows will appear. One window will appear that will, you can say, display the username of the MySQL, that is root. The default username is root, and it will ask you for setting up the password. You can enter some password over there. Then the next window will come, which will say reconfirm your password. You can again provide the same password, and that's all. This way, you will be able to install MySQL easily. Somehow I could not capture the screenshot of those windows which is asking for the password, but that's quite simple. Whenever we create any account on any website or anything, we usually provide the password initially. Same thing is here, and please do remember your password.
Dheeraj, yeah, MySQL server is a regular database, right? Is a RDMS or the way around, or is it NoSQL?
It's
MySQL. Say it again.
Yes. Yeah, MySQL is in RDBMS software.
Okay, thank you.
Just like Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, IBM DB2, Sybase, Teradata, all these are RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. So you can import the data from any of the RDBMS. Suppose your project was initially in Oracle, and now your company is planning to migrate from Oracle to Big Data. So Big Data you can install, that's fine. But what about the data? What about the tables data? So to import the tables data into HDFS or into HBase or into Hive, we need this tool Sqoop. So this way MySQL will be installed. After that, you can simply type MySQL from any directory. There is no need to go into any bin directory or something. Open the terminal, type MySQL, MySQL server will be there. I can show you. I will type MySQL. As you can see, MySQL server is running. If I will type show tables, you can see that no database is selected. When I tried show tables command in Hive, it quickly displayed. Because in Hive there is a concept of default database. That means in case you are not choosing any DB, even in that case, default database is automatically selected. But in this RDBMS, there is no default database by default. You have to select the DB. So before I do show tables, I will do show databases. So you can see that there is information underscore schema and test. There are two DBs which are already available. Now what we will do is we can use any of the DB. Otherwise, if you want, you can even create one more DB. But I think for learning purpose, these two DBs are available, so we can use them. So I can use test, semicolon, enter. Database state. And now I can try show tables. You can see that I am doing show tables in test DB, and it is displaying the name of the table, employee. Those two DBs, information underscore schema and test, were by default available. I didn't create them. But it is not the same with employee. Employee table was not available. I have created that. I have loaded some sample data into that. So that we can test things, we can at least try things importing and exporting between RDBMS and okay. If you want, I can even choose let's start from employee. So you can see that employee ID is there, first name is there, last name is there, and department is there. And two rows just for learning purpose. Testing purpose, I have inserted two rows. 101 needs server, 102 Sandeep Shana package. So yeah, the two are inserted into this. So I am back to just a quick reference. I will show you how to create a table in MySQL. Create table employee, bracket start, employee ID, that is integer and that is primary key as well. F name, varchar 20. Last name, varchar 20. Department, varchar 20. As we have discussed earlier, that varchar, character array, and string, all these things are same. Varchar stands for variable number of characters. The length is 20. So this is the definition of creating a table in MySQL. You can notice that row format delimited field, that is not written here because we are not creating the table in Hive. Instead, we are creating the table in MySQL. So this way you can create the table and see similarly you can insert the data as well. We have insert command, insert into employee. The values are 101, comma, news, comma, big data, and semicolon. This will insert one row into my table. Any doubt, Asha?
Actually, I just want to confirm that only I am not able to hear your voice. Yeah, actually, I would just want to ask if anyone is able to hear your voice clearly or only I am not able to hear.
No, it is getting up. Asha is getting up.
Yes? Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I think there is a bit of lag.
So guys, I did not
Yeah.
hear it properly. And now
There was a lag during the meeting, and the voice was breaking in between. So I just want to confirm that only I am facing the problem or everybody?
Everybody.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Yeah. So, friends, in case you're missing anything, I would request you please stop me over there so that I can repeat that. Shrutushar, is it better now? Can you hear me
Yeah,
now?
it's better now. Yeah, it's better now.
Okay, that's good. So, what I was explaining is I was explaining that how to insert the data into the RDBMS table. So, using insert command, we can insert this data. So, this screenshot is my actual table. Any doubt, Ravi?
No, I was, Tushar is a first bench student or what? He was like, yeah, I can hear.
No, I can't hear. No, other conversation is breaking up.
Yeah,
No, I'm on first bench, I'm on the same bench.
we used to sit in the last table or middle.
Yeah. Maybe a few kilometers closer.
Thank you.
Okay. So these are few just adding few rows in the table so that we can do something practically. As of now, this screenshot data and my actual table is not matching. Either I mean that's fine because screenshot is just for your reference. So the next activity, I mean the first activity we will do is import data from RDBMS to HDFS. I'm not writing like import data from MySQL to HDFS. The reason being is that whether you are importing from MySQL or Microsoft SQL Server or Teradata or Oracle, the command is exactly same. There is no difference. That's why I am writing it generic import data from RDBMS to HDFS. So the command is quite lengthy. We'll try to understand the meaning of each and every word, each and every line, and then we will execute it. So the command is /sqoop. This command we will be executing from when directory of Sqoop. Then import, because we are planning to import the data. --connect. And then in single quotes, JDBC MySQL /127.0.0.1/test. This information, which is displayed in single quotes, is known as connection URL. The people who are from Java background can very easily understand that, because in Java, when we create a connection to the DB, we provide connection URL. So JDBC, the first word JDBC stands for Java Database Connectivity. That means behind the scene, Sqoop is using JDBC technique to create the connection with your RDBMS and import the data. After that, the RDBMS name, you are importing the data from Oracle or MySQL or Teradata, you need to provide that. Colon, the IP of the system on which MySQL is installed. For learning purpose, we have installed on the same system. Otherwise, in real-time scenario, it may be possible that MySQL or any other RDBMS is installed on a separate system. In that case, you need to provide either the host name of that system, in case you have to find in etc host file, or the actual IP address of that system. Never use localhost or 127.0.0.1. In multi-machine environment, actual IP or the host name should be provided. And finally, the DB name through which you will connect and import the data. So JDBC MySQL the IP/DB name. This information is known as connection URL. After that, the username is root. As I told you, when we install MySQL, the default username is root and password is equal to 1234. That's my password. When you will install MySQL on your system, whatever password you will provide over there at that time, the same password you need to provide here.
Question, Neeraj, what is the test? I see MySQL is taken from 127.0.1/test. The test is the file. What is in the test directory? What is in the test?
Test is DB name. Test is the DB name. If you remember few minutes back, we selected the test DB from MySQL. I will show you. You can see this.
Oh, each test. I see. The use case is in a
Yes,
MySQL. Okay.
it's MySQL stuff. So in MySQL, when I did show databases, let me go upward. You can see that show database. It displayed information underscore schema and test, and there can be many database inside your MySQL. So which database you want to, you need to provide that. So I'm providing that MySQL is running on this system, this IP, and this is the DB I want to interact with.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so username I provided, password I provided, after that target directory. Because you will be importing the data from RDBMS to HDFS. And HDFS is not a database. HDFS does not have the concept of any rows or any column. So ultimately you will be importing tabular data into a text file. So I'm providing target directory. I can give any directory. So root scoop underscore import underscore data. And then fields terminated by. Because you are not storing tabular data into a table, instead you are storing tabular data into a text file, you need to provide the delimiter by which your different columns will be separated. Employee ID, then some delimiter. I am giving slash t, that is tab. So employee ID, tab, first name, tab, last name like this. If you want other delimiter, comma, pipe, dollar, hash, you can give anything. Then table name, table employee. You are interacting with test database, that's fine. But into a database, there can be many tables. Which table you are importing the data from, that is employee. The last, but the optional argument is minus M1. What is M? M stands for mapper. And you may be thinking how mapper came into the picture suddenly. Just like your Hive and pick queries were converted into a MapReduce job, right? Similarly, your Sqoop query will be converted into a map job, not MapReduce, only map job. There is no addition. So minus M1 specifies how many mappers we want. Because in case you have multiple systems, so multiple mappers can run, they can create multiple connection, and they can import the data quickly. But in my case, since I have a single system, I am running it on my local system, I am explicitly saying minus M1. I am requesting my school that please use one mapper. And this is optional argument. In case you don't want to specify minus M1, skip that. In that case, the default value of number of mapper is 4. 4 mappers will be running by default. In case you are not happy with 4, you want to change that, you want to decrease it, you want to increase it, you can specify that. So I have done minus M1. Yes, Asa, go ahead.
Yeah, so just my question was that instead of that IP address, in current my scenario, I have one master and two slaves. So the name will be master and then slash test, right?
I mean, the system on which your bicycle is installed. In case you are installing on slave 1, in that case you can specify slave 1 here.
Okay, so if I am installing on master, it will be master oblique test.
It should be either the IP or the host name of the system. It's not mandatory that you install MySQL on the master. You can install on any system. So you need to provide the IP or the host name of that particular system.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so as we are installing on any system, but if it is a MapReduce job ultimately or mapper job, so any of the requests will be going through the master and then it will be transferring the data from RDBMS to HDFS, right?
Absolutely, that's true.
Okay, okay, thanks.
So friends, this is the command.
Yeah, I missed the meaning of mapper 1. What is mapper 1? I missed that.
Mapper is number of mapper, because mapper is something which runs parallel in multiple machines. So in case you have large amount of data, in case you have huge tables, multiple machines can create multiple connections. Suppose there are 10 machines. So those 10 machines can create 10 connections with DB and import the data quickly. They can divide the task. So large amount of data can be imported quickly. That is number of mapper. But since I am doing it on my single system, I am explicitly marking is minus M1. In case you want to use 10 mapper, you should do minus M10.
So we have 2 slaves. I can say mapper 3. I can do that.
No, 2 slaves, then you should do minus M2 only. Why 3? Because 2 mapper, 2 systems, 2 mappers.
Okay. And again, a general question: whenever we install any software like Sqoop, are we supposed to copy same thing in slaves?
No, that's not required.
Not required. Okay.
Whenever these things are dependent upon Hadoop, because these are not running anything by themselves. Scoop's duty is just to convert your Sqoop command to a map job, ultimately Java program, creating a jar and submitting it to the master. After that, it's master machine's duty, Hadoop master machine's duty to distribute that job parallel multiple machine and import the data parallel. And Hadoop is already installed on multiple machines, master and slaves. Okay. Similarly, HBase
Neeraj, one question. That here we are importing the employee table from the test database. So as you said that we can have multiple mappers, so means we can import parallelly multiple tables means instead of employee because in real time scenario you may have hundreds of tables in one database. So you can do it parallelly, or the same mapper will multiple mappers will be working on the same table and then they will go for the other tables.
Okay, I got a requirement, but that's not possible. At one point of time, you can import the data only for one table. So when we say number of mapper, those will be importing the data from a single table. Because ultimately, we are importing a data to single directory. And that does not make sense to import multiple table data into single directory. Your data will be mixed up. So let's import the data from one table and store it to one directory. Then import the data from another table and store the imported data to separate directory.
Okay. So got it. So means it will be doing sequentially or serially, not parallelly, right?
No, parallel for the same table.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
If I have one table and the size of the employee table is 10 terabyte and you are importing it, so multiple mappers will be working and they will be importing your data. So it's happening parallel. Multiple machines are participating in that. But I'm talking about one table. It's not possible that at the same time you are importing from multiple tables into the single directory. That's not possible.
So we have to execute the table for every table. We have to execute this command separately.
Absolutely separately. Maybe you submit one command that is running. Along with that, you will submit one more command, which will import data from another table and store it to another directory. Maybe those two jobs running parallelly. That's fine, because as per the capacity of your cluster, two MapReduce jobs are running. That's possible. But same MapReduce job cannot import the data from multiple tables. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got it. Thanks.
Okay. Any other doubts from anyone else? So friends, let's do it practically. Before doing it practically, first of all, my Hadoop should be running. Because in case my Hadoop is not running, and Sqoop will try to import the data from RDBMS to HDFS. HDFS is not running, so it's not capable of writing the data into some directory. So first of all, I will start my Hadoop. I will open one more tab. So let's start. In the meantime, I will go back to the PDF and I will tell you one thing. This command is displayed in 3 lines, just because the width of the PDF. Otherwise, you cannot type in 3 lines. Then only type. But in Sqoop, there is no semicolon and you cannot press enter in between. So what we will do is, I will copy this command into a text file and then I will make it in a single line. Then I will execute. So let me copy this command. I am copying it. Control C. Open the text editor. So I will make it in a single line. Okay. This is still displayed in 2 lines, but that is again due to the width of this text. Otherwise, it's a single line only. There is no enter in between. If you will, I will click on the last argument minus m1, and it didn't come down the right lower corner. L. Yes, Tushar.
Hey, general question. Why they use minus two dash? Minus minus connect dash dash password instead of one dash. When they use two dash, what is the special thing when all the syntax use double dash? Any special meaning? Sometimes I've seen combination of one dash and two dash.
No, you have to try two only. One will not work.
Yeah, no, here is all two, but I've seen many commands in Hive. Sometimes they have a combination of one dash and two dash. So I thought there was special meaning.
You can see the last one also, minus m1. I don't have the correct answer for that, but what I feel is to distinguish the thing, because minus m1 is basically an argument for MapReduce job, and other arguments like username, password, and target directory. These things are actually arguments for your MySQL, because MySQL will be using your username and password and your this JDBC MySQL IP address DB name. So I think MySQL arguments are provided with double quotes, and the MapReduce argument, this minus m1 is single M. That is similarly if you're talking about any other thing like Hive or anything like that, we use single or double for different things. Because internally, when you are passing some argument, internally the command has to understand this argument is for what.
No, I understand. What is the distinction? Here you said is argument, or there is for MySQL. So I have to kind of observe when they use one and when they use two dash.
Right. Okay. So what I was explaining is this is line 1 only. If you will see at the right lower corner, it is saying, just let me click here, minus m1, I will click here, and you can see that, lm1. That means it is line 1 only, because there is no enter in between. So this is complete command, and if you want, you can change it. If you are fed up with tab, let's make it dollar. And I think no one is fed up with dollar, right? Okay, I am just copying this command, Control C. And I will execute this command from bin directory of Sqoop, not bin directory of Hadoop. So first of all, I will check my Hadoop is running or not. It's running. I can change my directory and will go to Sqoop bin directory. Okay, and I will paste that command. That's all. So many things are displayed here. As I told you, this will be converted into map job, and ultimately the output will be imported into HDFS directory. So let this job complete, then we will go to a page and we will check it out. You can see the last one. Retrieved 2 records. Because if you will see MySQL table, I can show you in my this terminal. You can see that. There are 2 rows. These 2. So those 2 rows have successfully imported into HDFS, and we ourselves has given that directory path, right? So I can browse my open my browser and will verify the output from there.
How do I confirm it is HDFS? Employees went to HDFS. How do I confirm that?
I did not get a question, Tushar. Can you come again?
Yeah. Question was how do I confirm that my employee table is in HDFS? That's what we did, right? We converted to HDFS.
I'm checking that because we had, while executing the command, we had given the directory. Let me show you. I have given this target directory.
Right.
This one, right? I will go to my HDFS and the root location I will check for Sqoop directory and I will check out.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing here. So just let me open this page. Browse the file system. Sqoop import data. Is there? Yes, it's there. This one. And this is output of a map job. That's why the name is part-m-510g. You must remember, earlier the output of MapReduce, the file name was part-r-510g, because R stands for reducer and M stands for map.
I could see Linux too, right? If I go to Linux
I
account.
will click on that. Which one? I did not get it, sir. Can you come again?
Yeah. If I go to Linux account, can I see scope import directories there too under HDFS? If I do the command of Hadoop HDFS or FS, I believe.
Absolutely, you can do that. I can show that also. Just let's have an output. Look at this one, and then I can show that also. I'm zooming in. You can see that. $101 needed $700 Hadoop. That's first row, and 102 sleep Selma HDX. That is second row. And delimiter I provided dollar, so it's dollar. And Tushar, to answer the question, I am going back to. Let me open one more tab. And I will go back to my Hadoop window.
Hadoop, yeah.
It's there. Sqoop import data.
Okay.
It's clear now, Tushar? Tushar, is that clear now?
Yeah, I'm clear. Thank you.
Tushar, can you hear me?
Can hear you, it's clear. Thank you.
Okay. So friends, this was all about importing the data from RDBMS to HDF. Okay. Similarly, export back. I mean, there is no meaning of exporting that, but suppose you have executed some MapReduce job and you have generated some output. Now your client wants that please load that output back to RDBMS table. Maybe different table, not same. Okay. So as of now, for learning purpose, we will be exporting the same data. Otherwise, in real-time scenario, there is no meaning of that. We usually export the output data. Okay. So back to
We lost your voice. It's breaking up a lot.
Well, if I imported data, we have done that. Next is export data from H. Okay. Let me come closer to my mic. Anyone else? Can you please confirm if you can hear me?
It's breaking up a lot.
I can, yeah, it's a lot better now, but before I completely lost now.
Okay. So if you can hear me, I can just repeat the last thing. Can you hear me now, Tushar?
Yeah, we can hear you. Thank you.
Okay. So previously what we did is we imported the data into HDFS directory and we verified that. This is the screenshot for verification. The next we have is export data from HDFS to RDBMS. As I told you that after execution of MapReduce job, whatever output you have produced, you may be interested to transfer that output back to RDBMS table. So we'll be doing that. So let's have a look at the command. The command is $/sqoop export. Earlier I provided import, this time I am providing export because this time I am exporting the data. Then connect, save connection URL, jdbc:/mysql:/IP address, then db name, test, username and password we will provide, and export dir. Previously, I tagged target directory. This time I am providing export directory. And whatever directory which contains your output, which needs to be loaded into RDBMS, you can provide that. As of now, you can see, I am giving the same file, which I imported. I will be trying to use the same file for exporting. So for learning purpose, it's fine. After that, the table name into which table data will be loaded, that is employee. Input fields terminated by, that is tab. I mean, you should provide that one, which is actual data name. Otherwise, the data will not be imported successfully. And the last, but the optional argument is -m1, the number of mapper behind this Sqoop query. So what we will do is, first of all, our table already contains data for 2 employees. And employee ID is primary key. And primary key cannot be duplicated. That means the same data I cannot export. For learning purpose, what I will do is I will delete the data from table. Table will be blank. And then we will see how to export the data from your HDFS path to RDBMS table. We'll do that. Okay. So let me open my terminal and I will delete the data from my SQL table. In the meantime, Tushar, can you please confirm if you can hear me properly?
We can hear you.
Okay, that's good. So as of now, there is data in employee table. I will delete it. Delete from employee. And I will do select star from employee. You will not find anything. Empty set. That means blank table. There is no data. It's fine. I will again from CSS path to RDBs. So I'm coming back to PDF and will be copying the command. And I will make two changes in this one. Can anyone guess what two changes are required? Okay, let me tell you one change. One change should be in single line. That's what I'm doing. Any idea about second change? It should be dollar. Because my data, the data which is stored on HDFS contains dollar as delivery. So while exporting, I need to do the correct delivery. So that your different fields from the can be separated out and only data can be inserted for that. Okay. So this is the command. I will type Control A, Control C. Coming back to terminal, going to second tab. That is my Sqoop bin directory. Right? So I will right click and paste the command. Okay. So let's see, this will be exporting the data from HDFS back to RDBMS. You can see the last line, exported to records. This one. Let's verify. I will go back to my first terminal and I will do select start from table once again. The data is back. So the text file has been split into specified DB table, and as per the delivery, it has been separated out and stored into the table successfully. So friends, any doubt in importing and exporting between RDBMS and HDFS, you can ask me.
Dheeraj, when we were doing that import from RDBMS to HDFS, so that Sqoop, that directory was there, right? So that directory should be non-existent.
Absolutely. That's very good catch up. That is mathematical answer. The final output directory should not exist. So if I will try to import the data again using the same directory, it will give you the error because Sqoop import directory is already available. So with every import, you should give a new directory path, non-existing path actually.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So friends, I think we are done with the importing and exporting of RDBMS and HDFS. Let's move ahead. So I'm coming back to PDF. The next is import data from RDBMS to HBase. So let's have a look at the command. It's quite similar. /Sqoop import connect. Connection URL, username, password, HBase table. Earlier I provided target directory. This time I am providing HBase table. The name of table is HBase_employee. If I want, I can even create the directory with the same name employee. I can do that because one employee table is in RDBMS, another employee table is in HBase. So that's possible. But just to avoid any confusion, I have given the name as HBase_employee. So we provide the table name. Along with that, we provide the column family name as well. Column family, that is personal, and then table employee. When I talk about simple table, that means I'm talking about RDBMS table. And finally, the number of mapper is 1.
Hello?
So there is no difference in importing into
Hello, Neeraj.
HDFS. I provide target
Okay.
directory and field.
Yeah, Neeraj, this
I
was
am
not.
providing HBS table and field.
Neeraj,
That's all. Yes, Asha.
Yeah, actually, we are not able to see the screen. Now
Just a
we are
second.
seeing the. Yeah, now we are able to see the screen.
I think,
You are
I
talking
think,
about.
I think you may
Can
want
you
to
please the
try.
last few minutes?
Yeah, I think you may want to try another terminal or iPhone to see because we are getting a big gap.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I do, I display what I'm presenting on my iPhone or somewhere so I can see that what the audience is watching.
Okay. I think I have that. Let me see. Audience view. Export as office plugin. You can see that slide.
Yeah, now we can
Let me
see
screen sharing and start
RDBMS
again
table.
because I think the current slide is not displayed.
Yeah. Try last 3-4 minutes again, please.
Okay, that's good. Okay, anyway, yeah, I will explain that. So earlier we were importing from RDBMS to HDFS. This time we are importing from RDBMS to HBase. So the command is /sqoop import --connect. Connection URL same as earlier. Username password same as earlier. Then HBase table. Earlier I was providing target directory. This time I am providing HBase table. HBase_employee. Then column family, that is personal. Table name. When I talk about simple table, that is my RDBMS table, my SQL table, that is employee. And the last is -M1, number of mapper, that is 1. So the difference is we are providing HBase table name and column family. Previously, I was providing the target directory and the delimiter. That's the only difference. Apart from that, remaining everything is same. So let's go to the next slide and let me know if that's visible. The next is verify imported data on HBase. Sir, is it visible now?
Yeah. Okay, it's poor quality.
Really, today looks like we have a bad connection.
But we can disconnect and
Anyone else
reconnect.
can please confirm who can hear me?
Maybe we
Yeah,
should
it's
reconnect.
It's bad connection today.
Yeah.
And not having a study material upfront makes more difficult.
Something popped up on my machine. It says the organizer is experiencing technical difficulties. Unlike the rejoins, the meeting will end in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, same thing appears for me also.
Today was a kind of poor quality in communication, technically.
Yeah.
I think it's because of competition of, I think because of the president's joint address.
Oh, it's going on.
Because a lot of people are sucking in the bandwidth. I'm just joking.
Yeah.
That could be true. That could be true.
What he must be talking on that.
Yeah, you get false promises, wrong data, people do fact checks, so a lot of traffic. His hockey statement is true. He just lies.
Oh my God! I don't know how he is doing like a president.
I can't believe it. It's unbelievable. I've been living in this country for 40 years. I've never seen as poor as this time.
Yeah,
But he's a daily national.
unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So I think our instructor is not there. We can talk whatever we want.
Yeah, our
In the
voice is
class,
so clear. Our
yeah,
voice
I
is so
know it's
clear.
clear.
I was about to drop, because could not hold any more disturbance. I felt so bad.
Yeah, but I understand conceptually.
I can still see the verify imported data on the Hbase. Are you talking?
Yeah, I think in the class, teacher is on, we start talking. Class
Friends, I'm back. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, Neeraj, we can hear you now.
Friends, I think there is some network connectivity issue. I just restarted my router, and I think we very few slides are left, so we can try to complete that. So
yeah,
currently the slide is displayed is verify importing data on Hbase. I think that is displayed to you.
Correct.
That's visible for you, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it is visible. Yes.
Okay, that's good. So the previous command we executed for importing the data into Hbase. I mean, I haven't tried that practice. I haven't executed that right now. I'm just showing that in the previous slide. Let me show again. Uh, this one, import data from RDBMS to Hbase. Can you see that slide? Yes, I think that's visible. Okay. So this command we executed, we provided the Hbase table name, we provided the column family name, and after that, we can verify. So in the verify slide, you can see I did list because semicolon is not required in Hbase. So list command will display the tables. You can see the two tables, Hbase underscore employee and sample underscore data. I scan the table, scan Hbase underscore employee, and you can see 0 rows. There were no rows in that. What I did is after that I imported the data from RDBMS to Hbase, and then again I tried scan Hbase underscore employee, and you can see complete data is displayed in a proper manner because there is a concept of key value pair, there is a concept of column family qualifier. Everything has been set up automatically. The primary key in your RDBMS table has become the key here, and you can see that 101 is the key, column is equal to personal colon department. Personal is the column family and department is the qualifier, you can see. We have the timestamp. We have the timestamp. This one is the time when it was inserted. The value is equal to big data. Similarly, 101 column is equal to personal colon F name. Timestamp is there, value is equal to Neeraj, and similarly, personal is last name, value is equal to Kumar. So basically, the same key 101, 101, 101 with different values is denoting one row. Similarly, the next three key value pair for 102 is representing the second row of the table. Similarly, 103 and 104 are representing the next rows. Ultimately, there were 4 rows in our RDBMS table here also. Although there are 12 key value pairs displayed, but those 12 key value pairs are representing only 4 rows of the table. And you can see this 4 rows in this much seconds. So is it clear now? Everyone?
yeah, got the flavor. I think how it goes to the notes on time.
Hello, Neeraj.
So can you please
show the
confirm?
previous slide?
Is that clear? To the next slide.
Go ahead, Asha.
So I understand.
Yeah, actually, can you show the previous
So once
slide?
you will do it practically on your system, that will give you more clarity. Okay.
Yeah, so here we are creating the, yeah, it's visible. So this Hbase underscore employee table, we are creating for the Hbase from this command, or we have to already create it and then we have to import the data from RDBMS to Hbase.
Table is already there. I'm just importing the data.
Okay, so means when we are doing it, we have to go to the Hbase, we have to manually create it and then we have to provide these parameters here, right?
Absolutely. That is different thing. Creating a table from Hbase cell, that's a different thing. Here we are executing the command from bin directory of Sqoop.
Yeah, that I got it. But the table is already created. You have already created an HBase.
Absolutely.
Okay. Just I want to confirm that. Thanks.
Okay. So friends, let's move to the next slide. We'll talk about how to export the data from HBase to RDBMS. So first of all, what do you think? Can we export the data from HBase to RDBMS? We can't do that. The reason being is that HBase is managing unstructured data. First row has 5 columns, second row has 10 columns, third row has 2 columns. And that type of data is not supported by HBase. Right? So that is the point. So what we can do is, this is a limitation of Sqoop, or you can say limitation of HBase, that you cannot export the data from HBase to RDBMS, because RDBMS is strictly for structured data, and you cannot load any unstructured data into that. So you can import the data because HBase can handle unstructured data. So HBase can hold the SQL data. It can do that. But HBase can be exported back to RDBMS. That's not possible. Import between RDBMS and HBase.
Back to back voice.
So Tushar, I can hear you very well. Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. It comes and goes, Now I can hear you again. But again, a few minutes back was breaking up.
So Tushar, with the help of recording, you can try that. And in case you face any issue, maybe we can look into that in the next class.
Okay, all right.
So I'll be sending PDF and recording shortly. You guys should try it in free time. And in case you face any issue, just let me know over the email. I will guide you.
Right. I think if you want to have our session on Sunday, something like that, or Saturday, we can do that, I'm very much behind, so I'll go through all those things, and maybe Saturday evening, Sunday, we can do that. In USA.
Yes, I think on Saturday we can do that.
Yeah,
Because Sunday evening we have the regular class we have on Sunday, right?
Right. Saturday evening is a good time for us. What's a good time?
Yes, 6:30.
So now the next class will be on
Neeraj, we can't hear you again.
Yes.
You were suggesting 6:30 on Saturday evening?
Yeah, I can be there.
Yeah, you are the best student. You are like a de facto teaching assistant, so you can always handle.
It's nothing like that. I'm learning from all of you actually.
Good.
It's still broken voice, Neeraj.
Is Hema on the phone? She asked me something.
Hey, Neeraj, I think we should take a break today and then continue tomorrow, whatever left over.
Yes, I think Neeraj can do it in the next class.
Please send the message in the chat.
Yeah. I think we can review a few things on Sunday when we meet again, and then go for our next ones.
Yes, I think what we can do is remaining slides plus the next class we can cover it on regular Sunday class. That will be better.
Yeah, I think it's a very poor quality. Should I?
Yes.
I'm pinging him, same thing, Yeah, I'm pinging him that.
That's good.
Neeraj, can you hear my? Can you see my posting? So we don't hear him at all.
Hey guys, I'm closing the
Yeah.
session.
Yeah, we're closing. We come at 6:30
Okay.
on Saturday.
On Saturday. Yeah, I think we will send again on that WhatsApp Saturday so that everybody will be confirming it.
Yeah.
Today I may not.
Who else is there in the class? Means anybody else is interested?
I think Ravi, Rama, you, and Hema sometimes sends me a note and email. I don't hear her either. I don't know if she's there or not.
On Saturday I'm outside with a family event, so I may not join on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, if you wish, we can do it. Otherwise,
Then Sunday we can do it, Ravi. You are free on Sunday, means we can postpone it on Sunday.
Yes, it's okay.
I mean, your kids are sleeping. So what's a good time? Like a noon time is a good time for you.
Actually, Sunday also the same time. I will prefer 6:30. If you are 7:30, I think it's EST 7:30.
Yeah, I think that will be very close to the regular.
I think Risha will join us on Saturday evening and we will continue on Sunday. Yes.
So let's continue 7:30 Eastern time, 6:30 Central time on Saturday, and we'll record it if something is going good.
Yeah, or we can have one more if means we feel that we should have one more, so we can do it on Sunday as well if it's still needed.
Right.
Thank you guys.
Very good. Thank you very much. And people, if you anything, you can call and we can schedule personal one-to-one call to you.
Yeah,
And Emma had something. I know she's here or not, but I was thinking if Emma, she on the phone, Emma? No.
No, actually, she talked with me. Means she's following the videos. For her, the regular problem is of internet, so she's mostly following the videos. She don't attend regularly.
I see. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
All right. Asha, thank you very much. I'll talk to you later then.
Thank you guys.
Sure. Yeah. Bye.
Friends, there is some issue and we're almost done. Only 2 slides are left. PDF and recording and keep me posting with your thoughts.